On everybody, this is Jeff with Living in Arizona, and today we're going to talk about the Phoenix area building boom and the Arizona building boom. But what's the problem? So yes, the city of Phoenix is booming. Yes, the state of Arizona is booming, but there's an underlying problem, and we're going to go over that. And it's not just one problem; it's a couple problems. It's not anything to raise concern about if you're moving here, but it's an issue that I'm raising so that you are aware of it, and so that we can kind of shed some light on what's going on. So if you feel like this is an important issue, please do like the video because that will help get the video out there. Drop a comment below sharing your opinion on this, and let's go ahead and dive in here and talk about that. If you're thinking about moving to Arizona or you already live here, you can subscribe to this channel, Living in Arizona, and we've got a variety of different videos you can review. So let's go ahead and dive in here and take a look here. So according to the U.S. Census, or the census, right? This is Phoenix Business Journal. Arizona, one of the fastest growing states. We touched on this yesterday, okay? But you could see about 122,000 people moved to the Grand Canyon State between July 1, 2017 and July 1, 2018. That places Arizona at number 4 on the list of fastest growing. Arizona was only behind California, Florida, and Texas. So Texas is really booming, by the way. But that's a huge state. Arizona's not quite that big. But that takes me back to my point. I just wanted to show you there is a building boom. This is not just a joke where people are going to come on there and say, hey, Arizona's not actually booming. Because I walked around this community here, and I walk around many, and I drive around Phoenix, and I'm like, wow, this place is really, really moving fast. There's a lot of growth here in Phoenix. And in particular, the areas that are growing, you really feel it. You might not feel it in certain areas that are already developed, but as you go out into the suburbs, you really see some massive growth happening here still into 2019. So the economy, the resurgence is still occurring. Now, if we just go in here and we look at some of the underlying issues, right? One of them is in Phoenix, signs of downtown that's ready to thrive again. So downtown Phoenix is really picking up, and that's a big thing. You could see lots of infrastructure. The face of Phoenix has changed over the last 20 years. We didn't have this rail system. Now we've got a rail system, and that's pretty big news for us. But if we go on here to MSN, right, we could see building boom in downtown Phoenix. It's a top subject. You can go on to MSN, or you can go on to Arizona 15 and watch this video if you want. I would play it for you, but I don't know if I can. Anyway, so the Arizona billion-dollar boom. Arizona is no stranger to business, but at the beginning of 2018, Arizona really began to boom. The two companies have made or plan to make investments in the billions and bring thousands of jobs to the state. So Nikola Motor Company selected Buckeye for its new hydrogen electric semi-truck manufacturing headquarters. The 500-acre, 1 million square foot facility will be located on the west side of Phoenix and will bring in more than $1 billion in capital investment to the region by 2024. So for those of you who are thinking about moving to Buckeye, there's some boom coming, billions of dollars coming, and that's not even including the Bill Gates Smart City. I live in the Southeast Valley. We've got some projects like this going on out there, but yeah, Buckeye just keeps on popping up, right? And so another thing that I wanted to talk about was Phoenix construction forecast. Labor shortage hurts, but no slowdown in sight. So one of the issues, so this is where the problem comes in. We've got all of this growth happening, but there's a labor shortage. So especially as they've tightened up the border, because previously, whether you like it or not, or anyone likes it, Mexico had the illegal immigration. People were taking advantage of illegal immigration, hiring workers from south of the border, and they would do a lot of the grunt work. Well, when they cleaned that up and ICE came in and eliminated a lot of that, there too went a large portion of the labor force. So the labor force hasn't really picked back up since then, and we've seen that issue continue to happen. But out here, in the place I live out in Queen Creek, Santan Valley area, I had a conversation with a foreman, and I said, hey, when are they going to build something to do out here? Because you've got all of this residential community being built. I mean, they're building 10 new homes a week out here in this community, and there's like 10 other communities just like it doing the exact same thing. Just think about how much volume's coming in here. And when I first moved out here and where it is now, going to the grocery store, I'm just seeing more and more people coming into the grocery store. The lines are getting longer, the parking lot's getting more full, And you have to say, at what point do they start building more grocery stores and whatnot? And you say, well, what's the deal? Why are the developers not paying attention to this? I mean, the foreman, he's a construction foreman, not just little Jeffy boy, right? Trying to make form his opinion. He said, whoever builds anything to do out here is going to make a killing. I mean, whether it be a bar or restaurant, whoever builds is going to be capitalizing. How none of these developers have any foresight? It's like, who's giving them, who's going to these Berkshire Hathaway's, Warren Buffett, and saying, hey, we got an opportunity in Phoenix, Arizona. So maybe I say, well, let's make a video and see if any of you guys can raise the alarm with the developer and say, hey, there's opportunity out there. There's gold in them there hills out in Phoenix. You know, if you're a developer, come out here, build some stuff, because people need things to do, whether it be a movie theater, a bar, a restaurant. I mean, there's no steakhouse like around me, like within 5 to 10 minutes. I don't want to have to drive 20 minutes to go to a steakhouse. I like to just get in the car and just drive down the road, especially if I'm living in the city. This is kind of considered the city at this point. So, yeah, there's a labor shortage. Maybe that's the problem. They can't find enough good help to continue to do the job that needs to be done. So that leads to the next subject of problems, is a perfect storm headed for Arizona's booming real estate industry. So it's no secret that Arizona's real estate industry is, I mean, this is what I see all around me. You see these homes where they're just getting tossed up left and right. You know, you've got construction going on all around me. You even heard the horn honking outside my house. That's a cement truck. They're pouring more cement. So you could see that this is an underlying problem. It's how sustainable is this growth? Right now, it's great to be a construction laborer in Arizona, and it's great to be a foreman or a developer, but how long is this going to last for? Arizona's last job report featured an unemployment rate of 4.7%, a strong number by the construction sector. It added 2,500 construction jobs in May alone, and that's 9.1% construction employment year-to-year change. So the growth rate of the construction industry is picking up. That's why they say there's no reason why people should not have jobs in Arizona, whether it be in construction or any of the service industries, house cleaning. It's all booming. Pool cleaning. There's opportunity here. You know, you guys are always asking about what are the jobs. Think about it. You could start a business out here in Santan Valley or in Queen Creek. You could do a landscaping business. You could do a concrete business. But it's more. But here's a comment that I will make. If you go into a service-related industry to service these yards, then you won't be affected so much by an economic slowdown for construction. You get what I'm saying? So let's just say you do carpet cleaning. People are always going to have the carpet. But if you install carpets, once the slowdown happens, you're not going to have as much work to install carpets. Right now, it might be better to do carpet installation, but once the slowdown does occur, I mean, it's inevitable unless the growth is going to continue for the next 5 to 10 years, which is totally possible. But when it does slow down, you know, who's going to have the work? The carpet cleaner or the carpet installer? Probably the carpet cleaner, because people are going to be needing their house service. Same with the pool. Might be good to build pools right now because everyone's asking for a pool, but who's going to maintain in these pools? And you want to be the one who's got all those accounts as a pool cleaning business, right? You get what I'm saying? So there is opportunity out here, whether you're looking to start up a business or just do that. But the underlying problem is, how sustainable is the growth? So labor shortage, not enough development taking place to sustain all of the residential movement happening. So a lot of people are moving in, but they're not building anything to do around here. Where's the dog parks? Where's the movie theaters? And this is not just isolated to the Southeast Valley or Queen Creek. This is happening in most places. They're building too many houses where the roads are getting jam-packed. So you'll be driving in these new places, roads that didn't have bottlenecks, now getting, I mean, I've seen it at rush hour. We're talking 15-minute waits at a crossing because there's so many cars trying to go down these one-lane highways. The first thing that pops into my head is, why didn't they plan for this? Why didn't they build the 4-lane? Now they built the 2-lane. Now they've got to go back, rip up the 2-lane, and now make it a 4-lane. Whereas if they just built the 4-lane to begin with, because they already knew that the growth was going to happen, because this is Phoenix, growth happens. If they're building a 2-lane road in an area close near Phoenix, it's inevitable that at some point they're going to have to rip it up and make it a 4-lane. So they'd be better off just making it a 4-lane. That's my point. But now, because they didn't make 4 lanes, they've got all these bottlenecks, traffic backed up. I'm talking backed up. You'll see it. That's the problem, is they didn't prepare for all the growth that happened, and they're not building. So the industry's not keeping up with the residential growth. Industrial growth, commercial growth, not keeping pace with residential growth, which tells me there is a demand for it, which tells me there's opportunity for developers. That's what I wanted to point out in this video. Sure, I get it. There's a labor shortage, but at the same time, hey, you can find the labor, bring them. If you're a construction worker, now's the time to be in Phoenix or Arizona in general. So I just wanted to point out all this stuff. Downtown Phoenix really is growing. 7 projects between the 7s in downtown Phoenix. That's obviously not that's not Southeast Valley, that's not West Valley, that's right in the heart of it all, downtown. Big things happening down there. Anyways, guys, if you enjoyed this video, get it out there, share it with your friends, share it with your developer friends, and thank you to everyone who's been liking and subscribing to this channel, and we'll see you next time.